I love out-of-conference games. As you know, I talk about it a lot because they're under attack. I also love rivalries. Last year at Big Ten Media Days, it was the first time we had the Pac-4 come to Big Ten Media Days. Obviously, USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon, they were all there. And I did my show the day after that. Well, first I did one about Deshaun Foster's hilarious speech. Remember that? I did a show about that. But my next show was about Lincoln Riley and some comments that Lincoln Riley made about in the Notre Dame game, in playing the Notre Dame game. And I thought at the time, Lincoln Riley was setting up, canceling the rivalry game with USC and Notre Dame. He had a lot to say, man. He had a lot to say. And I feel like this dude is trying to, that's their biggest rival. And it sounds like he's going to try to get out of this game, just like he tried to get out of the LSU game this year that was scheduled, quite a bit in advance before they made the Big Ten move. Riley said of the rivalry, "I would love to keep playing it. I know it means a lot to a lot of people. The purist in you, no doubt. Now, if you get into the position where you got to make a decision on what's best for SC to help us win a national title versus keeping that game, then shoot, you got to look at it. But if you get in those positions and you got to make a decision on what the priority is, it's not an easy answer." It's very clearly an easy answer for him. He just straight up told us. He definitely does not want to play Notre Dame anymore, just like he didn't want to play LSU this year. Now, I don't know how you feel about that game, but I come from a family with a lot of Notre Dame fans in it. Italian Catholic family, ton of Notre Dame fans. And maybe because of that rivalry has an outsized feeling to me. It's in every top 5 list as far as college football rivalries go. It's just a huge game to me. Talking about two blue bloods like Ohio State and Michigan, like Texas and Oklahoma, like Oklahoma and Nebraska, which is gone now. And we just keep losing so many of these great rivalries. And it looks like, to me, after what Lincoln said last year, that he was setting up for this to go away. Well, now we found out that this ends in 26, the scheduling. So they got the game scheduled in 25. 26 is the last one on the books. Notre Dame went out and signed for 12 years to play Clemson for 12 years, home and homes. Did they do that because they anticipate SC cutting them out? Lincoln Riley's athletic director came out and talked about how much they got to travel now, being in the Midwest or coming to the Midwest for the Big Ten games. It's pretty apparent that SC does not intend to continue to play this game. They want to let one of the oldest, best rivalries in college football die because Lincoln Riley thinks it gives him an easier path to the playoffs, to a national championship. Never mind that we're getting automatic qualifiers and conference play is going to get you in the playoffs that way, which that Notre Dame game has no bearing on that. All it stands to do is help you get an at-large bid if you get a big out-of-conference win. It's all pluses. The only negative is wear and tear on your body. After that, it's all positives. Plenty of teams around the country we're going to see continue to play big out-of-conference games for that very reason. Lincoln, he's decided he doesn't care about the potential advantage. He just wants the easiest possible schedule. Some people will say he left Oklahoma because he didn't want to go with Oklahoma to the SEC. This dude cares so much about his legacy, how he's viewed by other people, how other coaches view him. He's got a massive ego. It's what drives him. He sees himself as one of the very best in the country. You could tell in the press conference when he was at Big Ten Media Days last year how annoyed he was at the line of questioning that he's not there yet with USC, that he hasn't, made the crest to bringing them back to prominence. Started making excuses about it. Look where Ohio State was when Ryan Day took over. Look where Oregon was when Dan Lanning took over. Man, is he USC. Scummy. He just gives me bad vibes.
Yeah, well, we are at the top of the Big Ten Conference. We're at the top of any conference. I don't ever look at ourselves below anybody, and I never will. Listen, 2 years ago, look where Ohio State and Oregon were 2 years ago. look what they took over. Look what we took over. You know, I mean, it takes time. You know, I'm not a magician. I can't wave a magic wand and everything just be perfect right away. But find one area that we had to make progress. So this thing's got momentum. It's coming. Nothing's going to stop it. That's fine. They started at a different point. You know, we'll see where it ends up.
Coach. But the USC's coming. Nothing's going to stop it. We take a backseat to no one. If you're a fan, I'm sure you like all that. But when you're pointing out these other coaches where the programs were when they took over and where SC was when you took over, it just makes you look like a whiny loser. And he did the same thing after all the losses he took last year. I watched every press conference, every one. And in every one, he said, we're one play away from being undefeated. Guys, he said this when he had 4 losses. You know, we're just a couple of plays from being undefeated. Kept saying it. He's a pathetic loser, man. He is a whiny loser, and I can't stand him. And now he's going to duck out on one of the best rivalry games in the country and rob us and rob USC fans a top 5 rivalry in college football. And college football fans suffer. Those are the facts. What he's doing hurts the entire sport. And it's short-sighted. He stands to gain from the game. It's short-sighted. It's not even a smart move. And he's so selfish. I just can't stand him. I hate him so much. Have people done things like this before? Well, yeah. We saw Notre Dame do it with Michigan. And what did we do to Notre Dame? We crushed them. Everybody crushed them. We shamed them because that's what should be done to people who hurt college football for their own selfish game. Just like we shamed Matt Rule for what he did ducking Tennessee. You're going to be shamed by all of college football if you steal from college football and from the college football fan and the sport for your own personal gain. That's how it should be. Or what you think is your own personal gain, because you're not too smart in this situation. JUCK on Bucks let you know last week that a 16-team playoff, you stand to gain by keeping that game on your schedule. So would there be any possible reason any college football fan would say anything other than this guy just screwed us for his own personal gain? What possible reason would anybody stick up for Lincoln Riley in this situation? Would anybody? I would put forward, if anybody were to stick up for Lincoln Riley in this situation, that they are either a misguided USC fan. If I was a USC fan, I'd be furious. Or they're just someone who is blinded by conference loyalty, in this case, the Big Ten. USC. They're going to back the Big Ten coach, regardless of how wrong he is, regardless of all of us suffering. But only when the other team happens to be a non-Big Ten team, in this case, an independent in Notre Dame. And believe it or not, I watched a good friend of mine defend Lincoln Riley last night. And buddy, he had all the buzzwords. Don't fall for the ESPN attack narrative of Lincoln Riley. Here I am, put my ESPN shirt on. Notre Dame peeled out on Michigan. That was a justification we threw out there, that Notre Dame chose to not play Michigan. Yeah, Notre Dame did this, got smashed for it, as they should have been. And yes, Notre Dame doesn't play in a conference. There are massive scheduling benefits to that. Guess what? Everybody else can be independent if they want to as well. My dude even managed, in his defense of Lincoln Riley, to turn this somehow into an SEC doesn't play 9 games argument. The SEC is over here going, we got nothing to do with this, man. What's this guy talking about? He doesn't care. He made it happen.